Hi everyone, this is Sunny, and thanks for listening into this. I have always really liked Pew Research Surveys, so it was kind of interesting for me to see this questionnaire because now that we've learned a lot about question writing, I thought some of these questions weren't really stated all that well. Anyway, I'm going to take a look at the news section, and I would add a few more questions here. In fact, before question 62, I would add something in, here 62 asks about how they get their news. I think first we need to understand if they're aware of the news at all. So before 62, I would ask one question, are you aware of international and national news? Or maybe I would ask, do you receive information about international and national news? And I would keep the question, I wouldn't combine those questions in any way, I'd keep it single-minded focus. As per our text on page 307. Then I would go into question 62 here, but I would expand a lot on the answers. Another problem with this question is the internet is listed twice, which I did not notice the first two times I read through this. So I think there's a lot more to learn from this question and a lot more responses that could be given. So I would say, please tell me all the ways you learn about, see, or hear the news, and give them plenty of checklist format options at this nominal level, which is less time consuming than asking all of these individually. And again, that's from Davis on page 298. So ones I think that are missing from this list would also include friends and family, social media, phones, iPads, apps, and lastly, an other topic, which other please specify. And that was a great tip from the AMA session presentation with the Survey Monkey. I really like how they often give options, but they always allow for that other please specify. After 62 here, then I would add in a few more questions before we get to 63. So I'd add 3 more in. One would be, of the ways you mentioned above here, which is your preferred way to learn about the news? And that way they're going to come up with one single answer for us here. Following that question, I would do another. In thinking about that preferred way to learn the news, what or who is the specific source you like? And I'm thinking that they could possibly come up with answers here, like name a specific television reporter or a specific social medium like Twitter or the CNN app, my dad, something like that. And then I'd ask a third extra question here about why is that source preferred? And I would leave that pretty open-ended. If they get stuck, I might prompt them as long as other please specify is still an option. Do they prefer that source because they trust it? Is it the most convenient? Is it what their parents or their friends use to get the news? Again, or is there another reason, an other to please specify? And then I would roll right back into the survey here with question 63 about how much they enjoy keeping up with the news. So those are my tips for this particular survey and things I would do there. And thank you for listening.